Good morning. Welcome to today's live about my thoughts on Chatgpt. This is a product from OpenAI, which I'm going to share my comments on when it comes to content creation and also the perspective from a financial services perspective, right? So, what does this mean for financial advisors? How can you use it? Is it safe? Is it reliable? Is it is it useful? Is it helpful for your clients? So your comments are absolutely welcome in the chat if you want to engage and let me know what experience you've had with using ChatGPT. If you have any questions about it, I will do my utmost best to actually answer them. And so here we go. I'm actually going to be using it live. So if you're tuning in, I'm going to use ChatGPT live and show you exactly what kind of output I get from it. Now, be warned, this is a bot, so computers do crash. Computers or robots do get it wrong. And also, they do sometimes struggle with capacity. And that's what I found. So, my number one observation is that whenever I've needed it, when you need someone and you're like, right, I really need 100 words on XYZ, or can you please write me a quick email and bio about this? Your human staff or your human colleagues or people that you've outsourced work to wouldn't turn around and say, sorry, I'm at capacity, I'm having a breakdown, or I can't think right now what the right answer. I mean, you can, in a certain sense, you can say, oh, I don't know, I'll get back to you. But what I'm trying to say is that the response from a bot might just be non-responsive. It might just be like, listen, I can't answer this right now. So sometimes it hasn't been able to deliver the information that I've been looking for and therefore is unreliable. Other times, the information that I have asked it to deliver has been incorrect, particularly if we're talking about the financial services space. When you ask it something like, what are the best rates on the market right now, which I'll give it a go in a minute, you've got to understand that this robot, ChatGPT, is not a live internet search. It has learned from machine learning and the information that it has been input in there. So it is searching from a library of information that it has recently or historically been taught to learn, and then it extracts the best out of what it's learned. So it's not live information. It's not an internet search where they are getting Halifax's latest rates, for example. So from that perspective, I'm sure you know this, you've got to be careful that you're not using ChatGPT to rely on a credible source that is most up to date. That is the advantage that you have as an advisor, in my opinion, is that we do have to embrace technology, and we do have to embrace robots and streamlining our processes with software and other types of solutions that make it more slick and make it more digital. But actually, that human interaction isn't going anywhere. That human interaction is here to stay, because that is the most reliable source. And also, in my opinion, investing in stocks, shares, ISAs, getting a pension, applying for a mortgage, these transactions are very emotional, right? As much as they are mathematical and they are calculations that you make to make the best decision, a bot can't spit out a calculation for you and help you make the biggest life-changing decision in your life, right? So this is a emotional assessment that has to be made, and machines like OpenAI do admit themselves, and they do confirm that they do not have empathy, they do not have emotions, they do not have emotional intelligence or compassion to be able to assess someone's feelings. However, I've been listening a lot on YouTube about where the future of OpenAI is going, and everyone keeps saying it's hard to say, it's hard to say, it's hard to say. So no one's really hanging their hat on what can happen with this machine, what can happen with this tool, which is exciting, but at the same time scary, because we all want to know, and the fear of the unknown is one of the biggest fears ever. So we do want to know what's going to happen with this machine, but no one can really say. But it has said that in the future, because this is machine learning, there isn't anything to say that this machine can't learn how to assess someone's emotions, how to really pick up on sadness or fear or happiness. And so it is said to believe that potentially you can then learn how to do this. So who knows? But if you're still live with me, I am going to now share my screen and hope that technology is on my side, and we'll look at chat gpt together live, and we'll use it by asking any questions in there. Now, if you are with me and you are live but you're not watching this later, and you want to suggest a question that you want me to ask the system, please drop it in the chat box. But if you're doing this later, then I won't be able to see it. So if you are live with me, I'm going to type in there. If you are a mortgage broker listening, I'm going to type in there something like, what is the best mortgage rate in the UK? So you type it a question, and then immediately it starts to type an answer in the most human way possible that someone would write it. So here's the first answer. The best mortgage rate in the UK can vary depending on a number of factors, such as the type of mortgage, the deposit you have available, and your credit score. It is best to compare rates from different lenders to find the one that is most suitable for your specific needs. You can use comparison websites or speak with a mortgage broker to find the best rate for you. Now, this is a great short mini paragraph that you could potentially use as a video script, or that you can use as a post or in a little message in a response to a client. But I would say, this is such a simple response, and it's probably what you would say on a daily basis anyway. Why would you even waste time going on here if this is an answer so generic that you yourself could even come up with? So for things like this, actually, you don't get the exact answer that you're looking for. You just get a series of sentences and words put together in such a way that perhaps can make it more coherent and succinct. And perhaps if you do struggle with writing and coming up with creative ideas, then this is a great tool to use to come up with a succinct message, right? So for example, let's ask another question from a financial advisor perspective. So for IFAs, let's ask something like, what is the best investment strategy? Right? So I'm asking questions from a point of view of a customer as well. If I'm looking to invest, I'm thinking, well, what is the best investment strategy? So what kind of answer would I expect to be given? Again, a very generic response, written in such a way that could be lifted off the page, copy and pasted into an email, copy and pasted into a blog. But I'll come back onto that in just a second. So it's not giving me any specific answer. It's just saying there's no best investment. Think about risk, think about, what's coming up on the horizon. So it's giving you a very generic response. Again, not something that's going to revolutionize the advice industry, because this is not going to be able to give me advice. Again, what's missing here is specifically is the ability to understand emotions and the ability to assess how I, as an investor, may be feeling, what my situations are, what my goals are. So this is where the real advisor, the human advisor, comes in and cannot be replaced. But if you're here just to learn about what ChatGPT is, essentially what I would personally use it for is a content generation platform. Now, I don't use that as specific content because, again, it gives out a generic answer, one that many other people could use, and it doesn't take into consideration how much knowledge I have, experience, and my target audience, and all the nuances that I would be wanting to add to that text. So you can lift that text off the page and add to it and consider it as kind of like your introduction or something to get you going. So if you are stuck on creative content ideas, or how to put together a mini blog or a post, or you're struggling to do your first video and you really want the video script to be right there in front of you, then this could be a great way to just get you going, to shake off some of the nerves, to shake off, maybe some of the writer's blocks, or the apprehensions that come with, writing content. So this could potentially get you kickstarted into creating a bit more content and become a bit more fluid. So that really, for me, is a summary on ChatGPT. It can write code, it can write you an email, it can help you design a modern website by providing you the code. But really, for me, on a personal level, what this has been helpful for is to help my clients really instigate some creative content ideas and to help them in a faster way to be able to write better. So some of us, are spending all day talking to customers or speaking on the phone or email, and the creative ideas don't come as quickly. So this could be a really great way to just get to the point, get to the answer, and have a succinct, well-written, coherent message that you can share with your clients on email or social media. So I would say have a go at maybe typing in some frequently asked questions from your customers in there, like how to save a deposit. See what kind of response this system puts together for you, but then use that as something that you're going to expand on, not just a copy and paste exercise. I think there's been many debates about this around how school students can use this to cheat on exams, right? And there's actually a YouTuber, if you go on YouTube, there's actually been someone who has shown you live how they've cheated on an exam and how they've basically copied and pasted the answers from ChatGPT and put them in the exam and got a good enough grade to actually get by. But what I really found interesting about that is, once a cheater, always a cheater. If you are going to cheat your way through the school system or through business just by getting someone else's answers, there's going to be a very big risk that when you're required to be adaptable, when you're required to think on your feet, you're going to really struggle. And I always think that you can't fake it till you make it. There's only so far that faking till you make it will take you. And then eventually you are super exposed, and you're probably going to be exposed at your highest level. So imagine a school student, basically cheating their way through the exam. They get an amazing job because they got an amazing grade. And then when they actually get to the job, they can't work their job the whole time through ChatGPT. Like when they're in a meeting and they're asked a question and they need to think on their feet and you need to think of something to say, that is not going to serve you because you're not going to be able to turn to ChatGPT. So there are pros and cons to this, right? So you don't want your next generation, your children, to grow up with open AI, machine learning tools that actually give you the answer that you don't need to think for yourself. We've surpassed Google terms here, right? This is not just about going on Google or Wikipedia to get by your university degree. This has gone a step beyond now, because at least with Google and Wikipedia, you're actually doing research and you have to use your own discernment to come up with the best answer, right? So yeah, there's pros and cons to this. The other thing I feel is that we're valuing, and this is something that is really deep and profound that I have been thinking about a lot at night. And it is, we value the right answer over the journey to getting that answer. Let me say that again in a different way. We've become a society that is so fixated on getting it right that we've lost sight of the learning process. Think about that. Learning is one of my favorite values, favorite things. I don't know what to call it, but learning is something that is high on my list, a big value of mine. And the fact that we're now teaching robots how to learn is almost making me feel like we're stealing that one gift that humans have away from them. Our biggest gift is to learn, grow, and develop. That is how we've made it to where we've made it today. And that being taken away from us makes me feel like we're becoming less important, perhaps. And the one thing that perhaps we've still got left, that robots do not yet have, is emotional intelligence. And they're not far behind. So that's the society we've built, because we value getting it right, having the right answer, not making mistakes, afraid of failure. We've created a machine that can help us not fail. And that's what's sad about learning, is that we're losing that ability, that innate ability, that primal ability to want to progress and learn and develop. What are your thoughts on that? After my profound message about learning, I'd love to hear what you think this machine, this system has brought to our society and to the way we interact with each other and the way we think. How do you feel about that? And what do you think is the future of open AI? I'd love to hear your comments in the chat. And I hope you can embrace both human and technology systems together, because that is where advancement truly lies. Thank you for listening.